What's going on? Move the Mouse here, back in City Skylines with Industries now. It took them a day to get things worked out apparently, but it seems to be working because the game update is in place now. And let's see what's new. So we can create industry areas, production chain management. There's new industry buildings, new unique factories, workers, warehouses and storage facilities, cargo airports, yes, post service for the city, toll booths so you can make some more money on those roads that are already slow with traffic. You can define buildings as historical, and those don't have their visual style changed as they advance through levels. There's new policies and new maps, so a ton of stuff. I wasn't planning on starting a new Let's Play this soon. I was focusing in on the how-to, but Industries is out, so it's time for a new game. So let's see what we've got for maps. We've got Woodgarden, Twin Fjords, Pearl Bay, and Marble Canyon. Oh, and Green Peaks. 5 maps. So the one that I kind of did a test build on PC that I really liked was Woodgarden. And let's get a name for it that we like. Maybe we even call it Woodgarden to keep... Let's call it Woodgarden to keep it easy to decipher which map this is. So let's do that. And if you've been through one of my Let's Plays before, you know the drill. We're not going to do any cheats. So the only things that we're missing here are oil and shipping, unfortunately. But we'll be able to do cargo airports at some point, so that's all right. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started on a new build of Woodgarden. Still going to try and do the how-tos Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so maybe this will be a Tuesday, Thursday series for the veterans that don't need the help of the how-to, but just want to see something new with the mechanics of Industries. So this is available on PS4 and Xbox now. It's been out on PC for a while, and I've messed around a tiny little bit with some of the mechanics, but not too much. So honestly, I'm going to be learning as I go here. So let's take a look. We'll zoom out at this map. And yeah, I think the maps in Industries and Campus are so much more beautiful than the ones that shipped with the earlier DLCs. Whoever's doing the maps is getting better at it. So let's see here. I've got an idea in mind. And yeah, what we're going to do here is I'm going to go and make a little road, delete it, switch over to our one-ways, and I'm just going to bring this down to an end. We're not going to do a rotary or anything like that. I want this to just be a basic T intersection with kind of our main street. So we're taking it down to 2 lanes, and then we will reverse direction. Okay. And then back to small roads. So I think I'm going to go for more of a small town approach here. So we will eventually change this over, maybe even to a 2-way highway. But for right now, let's go ahead and get started with this. So I want to bring this out just a little bit before I have my first neighborhood. Let's bring it out to right about there. And we'll do a little... We'll do a little cul-de-sac here. Now, we don't actually have to create a loop. Cars will turn around just fine there. So it's going to be kind of a little dead-end street. We're going to put our neighborhoods back in here. And we'll space things out just a little bit. Let's see how that angle is. It's a little funny here on the end of the street, but that's okay. This is all going to be residential neighborhood back here. So that should be good to get us started for residents. I'll connect some of these streets through the side streets at some point. But let's carry the traffic on over this way And it looks like we've got some good farmland there. Though, I wouldn't mind kind of doing the farming off on its own. We're not going to unlock most of the industry stuff for a little bit. And actually, let's take a look at that before we get too far ahead of ourselves. Just so we can set the tone appropriately. So, our first milestone doesn't change, right? That's everything we unlocked previously. Second milestone, districts, police, emergency services. When we get to 1100, that's when we finally unlock park areas and industry areas. So let's do a quick start to the town, see if we can get to 1,000 this episode, and then the next episode we can start to really dive in the industry mechanics. So I'm going to do one street up into the woods here. And that's going to be for our industry. Just generic industry to start. So this can be all residential. And then I think what I'd like to do here... let me see. Is have like a little corner store right here. So let's do that. We'll go over to our marquee tool. That is not the marquee tool. Here we go. And I just want one little commercial business right here. Maybe even not on that street, but right here. Hopefully one business will fill in there. We'll do that. We'll have a couple more houses, and then when we buy the next tile, I'm going to do save an area for a park right here along the river. And then we can bring more residents up this way, and then we'll mix and match and spill some commercial in along this strip. But let's zone this one out too, and then we can fill in some commercial over here. I got people moving in. They're going to complain about power and water. That is okay, though. I don't want to zone on this highway itself because this isn't actually going to be a road. And then back here, we can fill this in with industry. And again, this is just going to be generic industry for this episode because we haven't unlocked really anything special. While we've still got some money in the bank, let's get our power and water sorted. So we'll throw the power plant up here. We'll do water pumping down here. And just a little bit further away. We'll do sewage until we can really get it moved off to the side of the map. And then I would like to carry it up to this main street. This is going to be kind of a main avenue through our town. And you know the drill, probably. $440 worth of pipe between two parallel pipes creates that nice overlap, and everything looks covered from there. And we just need to extend this up to cover the power plant in our industry. And now with the money that we have left, we need to run power lines. So let's get this out of the zone so that we're not wasting any zoning. And then we can even carry this up to the neighborhoods to get them powered that way. So everybody should be good there, and we're off to a terrific start here in the town of Woodgarden. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day, and I'm glad that we get to share some, and I'm glad I get to share some industries with you. I was really excited to do that yesterday. I was going to try and do an impromptu live stream for release day. I have no idea how this slipped under my radar, by the way. So I am a member of the private cities Discord, but most of the people that are in there are on PC builds. And I think it's just me and Fairlife Milk who now is Cowtown. He changed his name. So it's just the two of us that are in there. Some of the other creators are doing some console stuff, I think. I don't know. But yeah, it slipped under my radar. I didn't realize that it was coming out. So let's get a couple cross streets in here before people move in. Do something like that. Sorry. I didn't mean to move you out already, but let's get the rest of this zoning filled in. There we go. I kind of like that. Little space here or there. But we want this to kind of have... I want this to kind of have a small suburb feel. You know, it's not going to be the biggest city. Maybe we'll really try and spread it out over tiles. We'll try and be really smart about which tiles we purchase. We're definitely going to buy this one with the highway. And I definitely want to extend that way. But we'll see where we go from there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then maybe we work out this way a little bit. This island will be kind of cool, as with that one. So we'll see what we have space for with the tiles once we unlock some of those. And there we go. We're already at our first milestone, Little Hamlet. So that is a terrific start for our town. Taxes, loans, garbage, healthcare, education. Pause real quick. Taxes, loans, garbage, healthcare, education. Pretty straightforward. Oh, our budget is all the way up. Let's bring that down to 70. And I think 50 is fine on water, but we'll see. And then let's get that first loan and do garbage, healthcare, and education with the 54,000 that we have left. So we'll put a small clinic in here somewhere. Maybe we can even do that up here by the highway. Let's see. Where would a good spot be? I'm going to do right there. For garbage, let's put that up by the power plant. So we'll do a recycling plant up here. And then education, we need our first elementary school. So, let's see. This building's okay. Where do we want to put this? I kind of want to put this not on the main street, but kind of in a side neighborhood. So, let's see what we can do with roads here. I'm going to carry one of these across. I want to do something a little different with the elementary school. So let's come down that far. And then we will have like a little side street that comes up this way that just supports the school. Do something like that. And then I want to have maybe a little one-way belt that comes around this. So let's curve it. We'll do a very small roundabout here to sit the school on. Let's see if it'll let me sit it on the angle that I want. I don't think that it will. Yeah, of course it won't. Okay, let's rethink this a little bit. We need kind of a flat edge. This could be where kind of our buses come in. And then maybe we do... It's tricky. Maybe we do a little small length of road here. How short of a distance can we do here? Do something like that, and we'll come out to the edge of that. So we've got a school. We've got kind of its own little private drive. Buses come in and turn around. And then we have the actual road that this sits on. We haven't unlocked parks yet. When we do, I think it'd be nice to put some extra playgrounds on either side. Some different little elements there. I could do this a lot better with moving on PC, but we'll do that for now. Let's throw her back on 3x speed, because we're still in the negative money-wise. We need to move some more people in. Let's fix our water problem there. That's right. We already under budget on water for the sewage. Let's see what we did. Info views, power is good. Water is good. Why is this not pumping? All right, well, let's just extend power, and I think we're good. I don't. It was weird. It wasn't the water pump wasn't powered there for a minute. It wasn't active. It doesn't look like it's a water flow problem, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. We'll build a canal when we can to tighten that water delivery up a little bit. Demand-wise, we've got some more residential, so let's bring something up maybe from here. And then as houses start to spread in, we'll be able to get rid of those power lines. Okay, a little low on cash. Let's see if we can move some people in. And then we'll water them after the fact. And I want to get rid of this. I don't want people zoning in on here, which they already started moving in. Oops. Nope. I want to deselect. Okay, 3x speed. Water. Did we cover that already? Almost. We don't need to water these because, again, this right here isn't going to be zoned. This is going to be a continuation of the highway. It's going to come down to this T intersection. In fact, we'll probably split it into one road rather than have two intersections right next to one another like this. This is not ideal, but it works in the short term. So we'll do it for now. We are making money, which is good. And where are we at milestone wise? We are on our way to 1100. 700 is our next, but we should be able to get 1100 in a reasonable time frame this episode, and at least start to paint some industry area and see what that all looks like. Looks like we could use some more industry space, but I think I'm going to let that build up so that we can do our first Industries DLC industry area. We'll meet the other demands in the meantime and see if we can't grow this town again to at least 1100 this episode to start in on the new content. Really love this map. I said it before, I'll say it again. I love the kind of layout. Relatively flat space to work with, but surrounded by mountains. Lots of good resources. River. The only thing it's missing is shipping, unfortunately, which for a map with so much water, I feel like they should have got a shipping lane in here somehow. There we go. So new areas. Districts policies, second loan, police, fire, green buildings, organic produce, green cities DLC stuff. So let's go into economy, take out that second loan. Taxes are 12%. Okay. Want to make sure. Sometimes I forget. I definitely forget every time it goes to the high density zones. So we can define districts. We can take a look at policies. I don't think we have anything new yet. We'll unlock some new policies as we go. Fire and police. And then we can consider our zoning. We can look at uniques, but those cost a lot of money early on. We might drop in like one park object just for the heck of it, but we'll see. So police and fire. Police and fire. Where to put these? So these might be kind of temporary placeholders for now. We got a laundromat on the corner of our neighborhood. That's kind of cool. One little building there. So let's throw the police here and the fire right next to it for now. We will again find new homes for these eventually. I don't think that's where they're going to stay, but it works for now. Let's carry this neighborhood through. So we're going to break that power to do it. But this way we can zone a few residents through here. So we'll do all of that zone. I don't want people moving in too close to the school though, so let's just do that and this for now. So there's a little bit of spacing here or there between some of our zones. We don't have to pack it into the brim. Power, are we under budget? Probably we are. So let's get that sorted. Go 85 and we'll see how long that buys us. Not too long, it looks like. So we'll keep some money in reserve for a new power plant, because we're gonna need that before we know it. And let's see what we didn't touch from the milestone. So we didn't buy a new area yet. We didn't define districts. And we're not going to do forestry or agriculture here, because we're going to do that with the actual industries content. So let's go ahead and define a district. Well, you know what? I'm going to wait and define districts, because I want to stamp my neighborhood pattern out a little bit more. And it's not so much a pattern. It is a grid, but I want it to vary a little bit. I want to have minimal intersections with what is effectively our main street. It's going to carry most of the traffic through the area, but I do want to go by this tile up here, and we definitely want to buy those two tiles, because I want to keep coming off the highway at regular intervals so that this isn't too hard hit. I want to give people easy ways to get from the highway into the town. 990, we're trying to get to 1100, and let me buy that area towards the highway first, I think. You know what? No, this, before we need a second exit on the highway, we're going to need more town. And then we can buy up from there. So let's buy that one first. And then we'll go up to, you know, do a highway on and off ramp somewhere around there. So they're spaced out a little bit. Do a few more of these neighborhoods. Maybe this could even start to kind of curve its way off that way. Kind of break up the neighborhoods just a little bit. There we go. 1100. Great start to Woodgarden. So zoning wise, we need more commercial, and commercial is going to be great along here. So let's get a little of that in for now. Let's see what our water problem is. Did I not? I think that pump's running dry every once in a while, and it's causing delivery problems. So we will have to keep an eye on that. Let's go back into our budget. Crank up water a bit. Now, before we kind of meet that commercial demand, I really did want to save some space for... I wanted to save some space for a park over here. So, let's do this. We will do straight road. I'm just going to do this as a marker. Kind of where I want the park to start. And we'll come down 30 units. Let's see what 30 looks like. We'll do 40 units. So basically this area here is going to be park. So we can come off of that. Let's do freeform. And what I want to do is I kind of want to give a path for cars to come down through here, through the park. And it doesn't have to look too perfect. We'll do kind of coming off this way. A park maintenance building maybe. So that will actually be in kind of our main park. And then we can have another road maybe that hooks down this way. Maybe here. And we'll do some things like baseball, softball field, wherever we have. I'm trying to think, do we have baseball fields on console? I don't think we do. So we'll do something. We'll do some basketball, some tennis courts, some stuff down there. That will be our park. But I know what you're probably thinking to yourself. Stop with the parks. Get on with the industry. So let's do that. So if we go over to all the way to the right tab, I was looking, I stopped. I hung on this because this is where it is. I want to say it's with garbage on the PC. Just like Park Life got its own new tab, so did Industries. So let's pause it because we've got a ton of demand building up in the background. And let's come over here and let's build another block out. So let's come down a little bit so we can logically separate from the plain Jane industry that we've got in the game already. Do something like that. Alright, that might not be necessary, that power line through there anymore. So let's get those out of the way. This piece will still be necessary, so let's get that reconnected back up before I forget. That is water pipes. That's not going to help. Okay. So we've got a little zone defined over here. Let's do a couple more streets. We'll kind of do this parallel on each side. So what was this? 10 units out? Must have been. Something like this. A little industrial park. Hopefully we can handle the traffic. We'll try and spread our industries across the map. Now, right now, this one isn't in the best spot. It's got some trees. It's kind of on the edge of a farming area. But let's jump into industry areas. First thing we need to do, no matter what, is paint it. I guess I could have thought about the placement a little bit better. So we have forest, farming. That's all we've unlocked so far. So now that I think about it, do we really want to commit to maybe some farmland out here on the edge of our city? I think we could. We could make that more industry, or maybe even like a commercial park next to the industry, since they don't care about the pollution as much. Let's do that. So we'll do kind of a little commercial district over here. just to bridge the gap before we go off into a little farmland over here. So we'll hook this up through the middle of the zone and then kind of build off of that. Now, I think, let's see, did we unlock them yet? Yeah, we do have these now on console. Two-way, one-way, sorry, two-way, one-way, two-lane, one-way, small industrial road. And basically, these are cheaper to build. It's a one-way concrete road with 2 lanes. Small industrial road, cheaper than regular 2 lanes, but generates more noise pollution, supports low traffic. So you're paying less. It's noisier, which is totally fine in industry. So if we wanted to save a little bit of money, you could do that. In fact, if we want to see what those look like, they do have a slightly different texture to them. A little grittier and messier. So that's okay. Now, if I guess we really wanted to go the part, we could do some dirt roads back here for... Let's do that. For farmlands. And your farmlands tend to be pretty square. If you've ever seen satellite photos of Middle America, it's just grid after grid, square after square. For states and states, it's totally flat. And then all of a sudden the Rocky Mountains pop up out of nowhere. But you want to kind of save some real square space for... That was not a plug for Squarespace, by the way. It was just a coincidence. You want to save some space for the farm plots. So this is good farmland right here. So let's call it that, right? Let's kind of paint around that. We'll do this for now. And we'll get a little farm started on the edge of the zone here. In fact, I'm going to keep Dale. Dale's Farms. That works. So notice when we click on a zone with the inspector tool, now we get the production info for the zone. Now it's not doing anything because there's no main building. And then we can see info about the zone, how much does it cost to upkeep, how many cells is it, workers, profit, all sorts of things. Now this is kind of, I guess, socialist or more communist, right? Because we're defining what can be built where and then making money off of it directly and controlling the supply chain. So there's certainly some shady stuff going on here. For you poli-sci majors, you probably think something real weird's going on, but let's not overthink it. Let's just build some zoning, and we're going to do farming. So before, if we wanted to define this as a farm zone, we would go over to the zoning tab and specify a specialization for the area. And you can kind of do the same thing now, but it's a little different because it's based on what building you put down first. So the main building defines the rest of that district, or not district, that industry area. So farm main building sets an unassigned industry area's type to farming and allows its level progression. It also works as the industry area's headquarters for city service vehicles. So we can drop it right there. I kind of like that. Let's do it off on this one. So it's kind of like as you're entering the area. I just skipped over what we unlocked, but I'll show you that in just a minute. So as you come into the area, you kind of have the, the welcome center, if you will, the main office, and then everything else is built in behind that. So what did we unlock? We unlocked small crop fields. These could be used to cultivate wheat, potato, corn, or cotton. While extractor variations produce farming raw material, basically crops. Extractors need to be placed on fertile land inside an industry area. So we've got a crop field. We've got the small fruit field. We've got an animal pasture. And you can basically see the input and the output at the top of each one of these, right? So there's nothing really being input. You're just outputting crops, that little green thing on the right. It's the same thing over here. But when you look at the animal pasture, you need crops to feed the animals that will then output meat. So now we're dealing with this whole supply chain, right? I can't really have an effective animal farm if I'm not also growing crops to feed them. So let's do exactly that. Let's get a small field of each type started. So we'll do a small crop field. We'll get that in right behind there. Estimated production 48 tons per week. You're growing 48 tons of crops in that field every week. That has got to be some growth hormone GMO stuff in there. You've been warned. Crops are not supposed to grow that fast. Let's do a fruit field right next to it. Just for the heck of it. And then we'll also throw in the animal field. Let's see if how that fits. See, that takes up a ton of room. And this is what I was saying about kind of having a square grid here. So we'll throw them on the end of the street for now. I do want to just be sure and safe and extend our area out a little bit. So there we go. Let's hit play. Now it doesn't have any workers yet. And it doesn't have any water. Definitely got to sort that out. And the main building needs power. The fields, I do not believe, need power. That would make sense. All right, so now that we've got the most basic of buildings in there, we can actually kind of start to look at the supply chain. Now we can do it from, in this case, the building that's having problems. So if I inspect on that, it tells us there's not enough raw materials. The raw materials that it needs are crops, and those are growing right next door. So we've got plenty of crops coming, right? We're on our way to 176 tons. You can actually change to what... I think you're supposed to be able to change what crops you're growing, and it does say appearance, right? It's just the appearance. I don't see a way, so we can center our view. We can rename the small fruit field. We can move it. We can open budget. Industry area info. Toggle traffic routes. Yeah, I don't... Oh! That's weird. Okay, you can. So that's not really intuitive. So you can right-click to go into the advisor. I was trying to find some way to tab over. Apparently just push up on the D-pad. Maybe it is intuitive. Maybe I'm an idiot. So, if you were shaking your fist at the screen saying, just push up on the D-pad. Let's see what the greenhouse looks like. That's kind of cool. Gives it a very different feel. Maybe we're growing some tropical fruit in there. It doesn't grow in this climate. But what do we have? Pears, oranges. Oranges look nice. Apples. So you've got some different options there for kind of changing the look, but the look doesn't really matter. They're always exporting or producing rather crops. If we come over here to the field, we've got potatoes. A lot of options here. Corn, cotton, wheat kind of has a cool look. And again, a different greenhouse. Maybe we'll go with greenhouses for now. I kind of like the look of the greenhouses. Let's do that. And then if we go over here to the industry area, the main building, you can go into industry area info and see how it's going to level up. And it levels up based on the produced resources and the number of workers. Now, the confusing thing to me right now is the fact that this has a capacity of what? 50 workers, 20, 20, 25. So that must add up to the workers for our whole zone. Does that seem right? 115. So 50, 70, 90, 115. Okay, yeah, that works. So to get to that next level, we're going to have to add at least another field, right? Where are we at? We need another 35. So how much do these get us? So we'll need like maybe 2 more plot fields. 2 more crop fields, I should say. 2 more plots of land. So let's do that. Let's see if we can't get this thing firing. So not the main building. Let's do another small crop, small fruit, and then we'll do 1 more small animal pasture right next to that. Now I gotta see, I think since it defaulted to those views that it looks like it's going to change all appearances. Let's see if we change this. Oh no, it just assumes you might want to do what you did before. So let's change up the look a little bit. So rather than have this, we'll do apples here. You know what? No, let's do like a big field of wheat. That's a fruit field. I'm an idiot. So we could change that up. I think that's okay for now, and that gives us enough worker slots, I think, now to get to that next level. Yes. So now we just need to produce units and employ people, but there are spaces for them to work. So we'll leave it on 3 times speed here, but that's a pretty good spot to break for now. Lots of stuff to do, obviously, since we're just starting out a new town, but that's a quick look at some of the industry stuff. So basically works very much like the parks. You paint an area, you define it with a main building, just like you do a main gate on the parks. There's a farmer. Oh, you know what we need to check? What have they added in? There's got to be farm animals, right? Could I be a baby elephant before? Oh my god. He's so wrinkly and blind too by the looks of it. A bear. No, I guess not. So elephants and bears? That's odd for farming. I mean, I guess this works. Baby elephant's kind of cute though. He's so wrinkly. It's a shame they didn't finish the textures any better than that. For something that you are going to see regularly up close. You know, if I'm way far back on a house and it doesn't load the most detailed textures, that's fine. But you'd think they would improve these a little bit. Pooch! It's my house. I don't fit in anymore. This is Pooch the baby elephant. He is the official town mascot of Woodgarden. We'll see lots more of him. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I wasn't planning on starting this, but with the release of Industries, I guess it's time. So we'll see. I don't know if this is going to be as regularly uploaded as the others, at least until I get through some more of the how-tos. I kind of want to stick with that. So keep an eye out for bonus episodes of the Let's Play in the meantime. And Pooch, the baby elephant, will be here to greet you when we return. When that is, I'm not sure. Maybe we'll even do it on the Sunday stream if we want to switch things up from PC a little bit to see some more console gameplay, but let me know. It looks like it's a little windy out there, so before Pooch blows away, I'm going to call it a day. If you enjoyed the video, likes, comments, shares all help the channel a lot and are greatly appreciated. If you're new here, subscribe, hit the bell to get notifications, follow me on Twitter, and join the Discord if you want to get involved in the discussion with other fans of cities and of the channel. Excellent, we unlocked a new milestone. Until the next one, though, when we'll talk about all this stuff, this is Move the Mouse and Pooch, signing off.